Hey guys, what's up? It's Snake here, and I'm playing some zombies here on Derice, and I got Scar and Silver Bullet helping me out. And today, let's talk about something fun. Let's talk about the new map, obviously, which is going to be coming out sometime next year. Maybe we'll be lucky. Maybe it'll be like a bonus map that we get 6 months down the road, so it's halfway in between Modern Warfare 3 and whatever the new Call of Duty Zombies game is going to be. Probably not. But anyway, we can always kind of hope and wish. But the thing I really wanted to talk about today was I was playing Derice, and I was trying to think about this. Because obviously Moon is just like Derice. And what I mean by that is Derice was the last map that came out for World at War. And Moon is going to be the last map for Black Ops. And so there's a big jump between Derice, World at War, and Kino and Black Ops. So there's going to be a jump again between Moon and whatever the next map is, whatever the new Kino is going to be. So I was sitting here thinking about the different things between, that we can look at that's different or the same or similar between Derice and Kino to see if maybe we can see what's kind of going to make it over to the new map or what might get changed around in the new map and things like that. And then, the first thing I realized when I was looking back at Derice and thinking about Kino and thinking about Moon is the writing on the wall. Obviously, there's writing on the wall in both Derice and Kino. But after Kino, what happens? Where does the guy go? Nobody's writing on the walls anymore after that. So that was a big question. I kind of, I guess, was almost ignoring that fact, but for some reason, suddenly people stopped writing us notes and stopped warning us about different things, like the Six, of course, who we still don't know who the hell they are yet. But anyway, the other thing, obviously, that's similar between the two is going to be radios. Before Derice, there was a radio in Chinanuma, but there wasn't a bunch of radios, and it didn't really give us that much information. We got a ton of information from Derice, and then suddenly when we get to Kino, we get a ton more, so we start seeing more and more of the picture. So it's very possible the picture that we started to see at the end of this season in the Moon map is going to be expounded on in whatever the new map is going to be next year with the next game. The other thing, too, I was thinking about is the dog round. Now, obviously, we still have something in place of the dog round for Moon. We have the phantoms that walk around and teleport you different places. But at the same time, it's really not the same thing. Now, we got dogs on both Kino and Derice. So does that mean maybe the next map after Moon is also going to be a space map? I mean, if we're traveling through space, we could also be on a spaceship or on another planet. So if this is the case, does that also mean we're going to start seeing the phantoms again in the next map? Are the phantoms going to make a reappearance? Because we haven't seen anything yet since we ended the dog rounds with Ascension, which was the last. Obviously, those were monkeys, but it's the last thing we had that had a dog-like round. After that, we haven't seen anything come back as a reoccurrence. We haven't seen George come back. Those stupid monkeys and the fire zombies and the shriekers didn't make it back after Shangri-La. The Phantom probably won't make it back after Moon, but who knows? We don't really know where the next map is going to be set. So there's a lot of speculation that we have to go on for that. Now, the other thing, too, that I noticed between Derice and Kino is that we get a new zombie introduced in Kino. We get the gas zombies. So that's going to be a big question. Obviously, this is going to be a new story. The two stories are going to be connected, of course, but this next map we're going to is going to be the beginning of a new saga. And so it's very likely we're going to see a whole new type of zombie as well. And of course, if we're traveling into space, the question has to be asked, is it going to be alien zombies? Are we going to see zombies from outer space? Which would be really, really cool, I think. The other thing, too, that I noticed, and this is kind of strange because it's backwards. There's something that's missing from Kino that we find in Derice. And that, of course, is an Easter egg. Obviously there's small Easter eggs and little things like that in Kino, but I'm referring to the fly trap. We have the fly trap with the little hide-and-seek game here in Derice, and yet in Kino there's nothing there. So that's a big question. Are we going to get an Easter egg in the new map? My guess is if we do, it might be something as simple as the fly trap, as opposed to something as big and extravagant as the Big Bang Theory. Because I feel like with the Big Bang Theory, obviously you have to have a big payoff in order to go through all of those steps, or else you're not going to do it. But I feel like it's going to be too early on in the saga for there to be such a big payoff as an extra wonder weapon, or all perks being unlocked, or anything like that. I feel like the very first map is too soon, so it may be possible that we either don't get an Easter egg, or the Easter egg is going to be small and simple, and pretty much there just just to kind of pique our interest and get us involved in the story, and sort of push the story along, maybe bridge the gap between Moon and whatever the new map is going to be. And then, of course, obviously, there's going to be a new gun. What's it going to be? That all depends on where the map takes place, and what wonder weapon we need. But I'm getting off track. There's two more things I want to talk about, and I don't have too much time left. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, and this isn't really based off of my observations between Doris and Kino, but this is sort of my observations as you look at any games, like for instance God of War, or Uncharted or Assassin's Creed, where you go from the first one to the sequel when you go to the second one. Because remember, they talked about this in seasons, so the next map is going to be the beginning of the second season. So we're kind of going to have to reset as far as perks and guns and things like that are concerned. Things are going to get pulled back a little bit, I feel. So it's very possible that we're going to see drop back down to either 4 or 5 perks. Obviously, we're going to keep Juggernog, we're going to keep Speedy Cola, we're going to keep Quick Revive. Those are the 3 most important perks. It may very well be that we'll keep Double Tap too, just because that was one of the 4 original perks that's in the 4 original maps. But I think maybe instead of Double Tap, they might replace it with either a PhD Flopper, which is an amazing perk and everybody needs it, especially if you got the ray gun. Or they may replace it with a brand new perk, one that we haven't seen yet, and just a new one to go with the new map. The last thing I wanted to talk about too, of course, speaking of maps, and this one's a big question which I don't have an answer for yet, and that kind of scares me a little bit. But how are we going to get all of these old maps onto the new game? Because when the new game comes out, this is a lot of maps. This is 11 different maps. It's not just 4 maps that can be included in one DLC pack. So what are we going to do about that? Hopefully, all it means is that we're going to be getting, our zombie game, a whole game that's just exclusively zombies. But anyway, until next time, guys, peace out.